the skirmisher, the raider, the scout, and the sieger. Your single character can play all of these roles, but when we do a big event, like a weekend Zerg raid, it's better if you choose one to specialize in. We also have places for tanks, healers, bombers and scroll runners, but they are special builds and not covered in this conversation. Whilst all players can carry and deploy siege equipment, the advantage of having dedicated siege players is that between all of them they can carry the whole range of specialized equipment. Some weapons are geared toward an offensive stance and others towards a defensive posture. Some siege equipment is better used against hard targets like wooden gates and stone walls, whilst other machines are used against soft targets like groups of people or other siege weapons. Siege can also be used to fortify choke points, like bridges and valleys, or as a preventative measure and to stop certain strategic targets from being acquired by the enemy. However, the main advantage of having dedicated siege players is the speed with which they can deploy their equipment during a surprise attack. This is called a blitz attack, and whilst it may need a bit of practice to get right, it is powerful and deadly when perfected. It is also surprisingly easy to do. At one point during a blitz on the castle or keep the enemy way shrine ceases to work. This means any enemy reinforcements will need to come great distances on foot. Strategically hidden scouts can report on their progress, resource raiders can prepare an ambush for them, and skirmishers can hit them head-on. This leaves the sieger free to do his job. If you are unfamiliar with the process, your siege leader will help with your training, including defense as well as attack strategies. This good working relationship between all types of players and their teams can be devastating to the enemy. Our level of organization often leaves the enemy confused and disorganized. After a successful blitz, our PUG players are usually left to defend assets like castles, keeps and resources so that the blitz crew can move with whirlwind speed to their next objective. I should mention at this point that we have a special way of moving as a group so that we can stay together. Your leaders will instruct you on how the mounted diamond works. Also, it should be noted that travel along open roads is faster than traveling cross-country. However, you face the danger of being out in the open. A tight group with flank guards and forward scouts is always a good idea when moving large distances. It is harder to hit the moving target that is organized. Often in the excitement of the moment, our teams are tempted to sprint ahead, but this means their arrival at the destination can be fragmented and clumsy. With smaller teams now in Cyrodiil, the loss of just one sieger to ambush can impact the effectiveness of a blitz, so it is important to have all your riding skills at maximum and stick together. The blitz siege of a castle. The first order of the day is stealth. It takes time to ready your equipment and to coordinate your attack with the other teams. The skirmishers have their job to do, and so too do the resource raiders. It is much more effective if everyone is ready and in place before the sieger reveals their presence. The action begins with the order given through Discord by the siege leader. Mid-sack catapults will be aimed at groundsmen who will also be attacked by our skirmishers. Stone, fire or ice trebuchets are aimed at the wall hangers to prevent fire from above. At the same time, the skirmishers are ranging NPC and players up on the wall. The battering ram is assembled at the gate and manned by 3 skirmishers who will deploy shields as needed. A normal bolt ballista is erected on each side of the ram and operated from the front. This means the operators can also man the battering ram at the same time. A semicircle of normal bolt ballistae is erected behind this and a pound on the wooden gate. Another semicircle of stone trebuchets have been erected behind this and a pound away at the gate also. After the gate reaches 50% in damage, 2 ballistae swap to lightning bolts. These will fire into the open gate to stun the enemy as the skirmishers enter. As the gate hits 50% damage, the catapults load up oil to reduce enemy movement in the gate opening. Also, as the gate hits 50% damage, the trebuchets load ice balls to stun the enemy in the gate opening. A well-executed siege action can take as little as 1 minute to destroy a gate. The siege equipment is disassembled and moved to the wooden castle door, where the same routine is followed. Note that one player can operate up to 3 pieces of the siege equipment at once. This is particularly useful when using the slower loading trebuchets. While one piece is reloading, the player can be firing another. It takes a bit of practice but is very effective. Trebs are the slowest to reload, followed by the catapult, then the ballistae. Siegers can obtain cold fire and cold stone siege equipment from doorman chests in Siroti Isle. This siege equipment delivers extremely high damage. There are many more tricks and hints that your leader will teach you as you progress. The siege leader is sometimes called a siege master or siege boss. Siege leaders have several skills that they need to be good at. The first is to understand a battle plan and the role that siege plays in it. The second is to be able to explain the plan to the team. The third is to delegate siege-specific tasks within the plan. The fourth is to command obedience to the plan by explaining the consequences to the whole strategy if players go against the scheme. It is easier to get full cooperation from a team that knows what is going on. One place to start this process is to direct your team to this and our other siege videos. The fifth is to understand your team's strengths and weaknesses. You should know each team member by name and always make them welcome as part of your team. The sixth is to be able to cooperate with other leaders. If you feel that you have these skills and would like to be a leader, please contact the organizer of the event. Alternatively, if you would like to learn these skills, speak to the current siege boss or event organizer in Discord. To conclude, the Sieger is capable of executing many different roles and will fill in when called upon. However, the true value of the Sieger is the ability to select and operate the right equipment for each situation. Individualistic, strong-willed and impatient players may find it hard to buckle into our siege team and may be better off as a scout. However, those who can take a bit of team discipline will find the role very rewarding. I hope this will help you make your decision about what you want to do during our Cyrodiilic adventures. Good luck with your choice, and I'll see you on the battlefields of Cyrodiil.